What's up, guys? It's ArtDude47 here, and I'm back with another devlog. As you can see, we are already in a build of the game. This would be build 0.4.9, as I'm calling it, because we're not quite at 5. I want to have the full dating system done before we're at 5. But I wanted to show you guys what I've been working on so far this week, which is calling the NPCs. This is probably all I'm going to get done this week because it's been a pretty in-depth thing that I've needed to work out, so I'm just going to show you here. To get started, first I will mention that I did go ahead and I fixed the tooltips, so you'll see it dynamically resizes, it matches everything, and it always stays on the screen. I know I talked about it in the last episode that I needed to fix them, and since then I actually released a tutorial to do it. So if you're interested in how I've got the tooltips, take a look at the tutorial I released. I didn't think there was a ton of great information out there on how to do it, and I did it with as little code as possible, so a lot of it's done in the Unity Inspector. It's also a little more what you would expect from an RPG tooltip in the tutorial, where it's got a title and a description, rather than how the tooltips work in this game. Anyway, with that said, what we need to do first is work out so we can meet the NPC. We'll skip through this since that was in the last episode, and then we need to finish out this week. Now we're at home, it's Saturday. What we want to do is make a phone call. You'll see we get a phone numbers dialog, and it will list all the NPCs we know, which currently we only know the test NPC, so that's who we'll call. You can see they answer. This is player calling. Player, this is a surprise. What do you need? Then we get the calendar. Now you can see, hopefully, that these are activated buttons that you can click only for weekends, because those are the only days you can ask an NPC out on a date. And you'll see there's actually no button for today's date since it's already today, and there's none for weekends that are already in the past. So we'll ask for January 10th, and we'll go to the amusement park. So then, do you want to go to the amusement park with me on 1/10? Oh, a date? Sure, I would love to go. Don't forget, or I'll be mad. Yes, a date with test NPC. I'm excited already. And then, of course, it is Sunday. And so we could do it again. I already kind of have a system for the NPC to decline dates, but it's pretty rare, so we'll see if we might get that. No, they asked to go on the date, and it's accepted. So there's a few things we need to work on for this system. One, it currently does work outside of weekends, so I can call her again, and I'll show you the things that we need to work on here. So, a couple different things. We just asked for the 30th. If we ask again, that's one. You saw the calendar was fading away, but this showed up before the calendar faded away. So I'm going to have animations for these UIs as well, so that's just something I need to do. But another is that if we ask to go on a date for a day we already have scheduled, it will accept the date. So we do need to take care of that. So that's what I'm going to work on for the rest of the week, is getting it so you cannot ask for dates when there's already a date scheduled, and just make the UIs look a little better, add some animations to the other UIs. So I'm going to get working on that, and I'll check in with you guys once I've got that all taken care of. Alright, so I've just started the game back up. We're here at the beginning, so I will go ahead and work out to meet the NPC again, and then we'll let the player go through the week. And once that's done, we'll go ahead and make a phone call. You'll already see this opens up now with an animation. We'll call test NPC, closes with an animation, and then we get the NPC. We will schedule a date for the 24th at the pool. NPC accepts it, so we'll go on a date, 24th at the pool. And now, Sunday, if we decide to call the NPC again, you can see 24th is no longer active. At some point, the calendar will display like a heart logo or something to indicate that you already have a date scheduled that day, so that way there's no confusion on why the button isn't active. But for now, it just doesn't activate because it knows that there's a date scheduled that day. So, like I said, at some point there will be some kind of UI showing that, maybe like a chibi picture of the NPC you're supposed to date, or like I said, a heart, something like that. But it does now know, so we'll go with the 30th at the local park, and the NPC accepts again. Alright, so that is pretty much it for the changes. There is one other thing I'll show you real quick. So there's a couple, going back into the code, in the NPC manager we have here check for phone answer, and right now it's just 90% chance that it's going to be true. We will change that at some point. It'll go by how the NPC feels about the player, something like that. But if we just change it to false real quick, I'll show you how that's working in game. So in this case, if we run the game, meet the NPC again, and I'll show you something I can actually do while I'm debugging. We'll just go phone call, test NPC while it's going, ring ring, ring ring, ring ring. Oh, that didn't work because they overlapped while I was trying to show you, but you see it rings a couple times, and then the player says she didn't pick up, this is a bummer, and it goes to the next day. Now, of course, we do want that to be true, but you can also see that if we change the date except to return false all the time, and again, date except right now is just using the same 90-10, 90% she'll say yes, 10% she'll say no. Later that will be affected by how much she likes the location you're asking for, and how she feels about you. So if the NPC hates you and they hate the location, you may only have 10% chance for yes and 90% no, something like that. So I'll just show you that this is all working and the game handles the logic. So if we call now, call test NPC, they pick up. We're going to ask on a date for the 24th. We'll go to the beach. Do you want to go to the beach with me? 124. Oh, sorry, I'm busy that day, but please don't hesitate to ask me on another day. Well, this is disappointing. I'll have to try again later. And then it goes to the next day, as it should. And you'll see we've got it here. Also, I can't remember if I showed you, but if we view the calendar outside of asking on a date, you'll notice none of the buttons are active because we don't want the player clicking those buttons and the listeners on the buttons to react. And also, there is a close button that's not here when you're asking on a date. But I think that's really it for this episode. We've got the phone call system in place. It's scheduling dates. You can't overlap dates. Next thing we've got to work out is actually going on the dates with the NPC. So we will get to that in the next episode. But in the meantime, I do thank you guys for watching. If you want to keep up with the project, please subscribe and leave any comments with questions. And I'll see you in the next one.